Hello everyone and welcome back to Country Mama Musings for our Heirloom Afghan Crochet Along. I apologize for the delay in reshooting block number 14. I haven't been feeling well, but let's see if we can get through today without me going into a coughing fit. I really want to get caught up with you guys, and I'm also going to try to do number 16 for you later on today, but let's go ahead and get started with a beautiful block number 14. This is the seed stitch. This is going to be with your color A, whatever you've designated as color A. Go ahead and get your size H crochet hook and whatever you have for color A. Now for me, color A is my white color, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. For block 14, go ahead and start with your slip knot and go ahead and get that onto your hook. And for this block, we are going to chain 30 loosely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll see you when I get to 30. 25, 26, 27. 28, 29, and 30. So according to our pattern, what we're going to do now is we're going to single crochet in the second chain from our hook. So here's our first chain. Here's our second chain. We're going to go ahead and just complete a single crochet right there. Yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook right there. Now in prior blocks, we've completed a stitch in each chain across when we first start our blocks. We're not going to do that with this one. As we work across our chain here, we're going to chain 1, skip a chain, and then complete a single crochet. Then we'll chain 1, skip a chain, complete a single crochet. So we're going to do that as we work across our starting chain here. So we've already have our first single crochet here. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip a chain and complete a single crochet in our next chain. We're going to chain 1, skip a chain, and complete a single crochet in the next chain. And we're going to do that all the way to the end. So I'm going to complete that and I will meet you here. And here we are at the end of our chain, and we're going to go ahead and place that single crochet in our very last chain. And there's row 1. So just single crochet chain with skipping a chain all the way across. Moving on to row 2, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. We're going to single crochet in this very first single crochet right here. And we're going to single crochet in our very first chain 1 space right here. There we go. Now, all the way across, we're going to chain 1 and complete a single crochet in our chain 1 space from the prior row. Chain 1, single crochet in this chain 1 space from our prior row. This is very simple. It's very easy to work in those chain 1 spaces. And you just have to remember to put a chain 1 in between those single crochets, because in our next row, we'll be doing the very same thing. We'll be working in these chain 1 spaces. So single crochet in a chain 1 space, chain 1. I'm going to work this across to the end and I'll meet you here. Here's a single crochet in that chain 1 space and a chain 1, and we're getting here close to the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place a single crochet in that chain space there. And we're not going to chain 1 now, but we're going to place a single crochet right here in our very first single crochet from that prior row. So as we look at our row 2, we're starting out with 2 single crochet with no chain in between. Then we chain and then single crochet in our chain 1 spaces across. We're ending our row the same way we started our row, with 2 single crochets together. So we've single crocheted right here in our last single crochet. Moving on to row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to single crochet in our first single crochet. And here row 3 is a little different than row 2. We're not going to do 2 single crochets together. We're going to do this very first single crochet, and we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go ahead and place a single crochet in that chain 1 space. Chain 1, single crochet in our chain 1 space. And we're going to do this all the way across. So row 3 is a little different from row 2. We're not starting with 2 single crochets. We're starting with our single crochet, going right into our chain 1, and then single crochet in our chain 1 space. Very simple block, just remembering that we're going to be alternating row 2 and row 3. You're always going to have a chain in between your single crochets, unless it's at the beginning and the end of your row 2. Here's the end of row 3. We single crocheted, chain 1, single crocheted in our very end here. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to single crochet right here in our very first single crochet. From the previous row, we're not going to chain 1, but we're going to place a single crochet right away into our chain 1 space, and then resume our pattern of adding that chain 1 in between. Single crochet in our chain 1 space from the prior row, chain 1, and work these across. The seed stitch is also known as the moss stitch. This is a very nice stitch to use if you have some cotton yarn and you'd like to make some face cloths or country dish cloths. This is a very nice block that you can use to create those little face cloths or dishcloths for your country kitchen. Very flexible block, very good for washing dishes or for washing your face. So keep that in mind as you learn this stitch. It works up very quickly. You can see we're going across our rows very nicely. And before you know it, you're going to have your block ready to measure out to make sure that it's square, and then we can move on to our edging. So I'm going to continue working on this, and I'm going to meet up with you once I get several rows of this done so we can check to see for square, and then we'll finish off. I will see you then. Okay, I've completed several rows here. Now, as you're working on this block, I promise you, you're going to forget, am I on row 2 or am I on row 3? Now, if you'd like, you can use a stitch marker to mark either row 2 or row 3 so that you can keep track. But I also promise you, you're going to forget, did I mark row 2 or did I mark row 3? The important thing is as you chain 1 and turn, check your stitches. You're always going to single crochet in the first single crochet, and then just look for your single crochet spaces, your chain spaces here across. You'll know whether you need to go right into a single crochet or into a chain 1 single crochet into the next chain 1 space. You'll know working row 1 or row 2 based on what you see here. So don't think too much into this. Don't overthink it. As long as your square is nice and even as you're working up the sides, you're good to go. Don't panic too much. Don't frog too much. Just do your best to try to keep track of row 2 and row 3. Either way, it's going to be beautiful. So let me set this aside. We've worked several rows here, and we're going to check to see now if this is ready for us to start our edging. Is this truly square? Take one corner and fold it over to the other corner. And if I fold this that's really nice and even along the edge here, I see that I'm not quite square yet. I've got maybe one more row to do. So I'm here to the end of my work. I'm going to chain 1. I've already chained 1 actually, and turn. And I'm going to single crochet in that very first single crochet. And look what I've got here. I have a chain 1 space right here, so I'm going to go ahead and single crochet in that chain 1 space, chain 1, skip my single crochet and single crochet right into my next chain 1 space, and I'm going to finish this very last row all the way across, and I'll meet you there. We're going to single crochet right here in our last chain 1 space. We have one more single crochet left here. We're just going to go ahead and place a single crochet there. And now I know that my entire block is ready for edging. So now we're ready for our edging. Don't fasten off. You're going to want to go ahead and use your color A and complete your round 1 of edging all the way around your block. And it's important to remember, when you get to the end of round 1 of your edging, don't finish off, because color A is the color we're going to use for joining all of our squares once our squares are done. So you're going to want to complete round 2 of your edging in the same color. I'll make sure I put an iCard up above, and I'll also put a link to the edging video in the description box below. And here we have week 14, the seed stitch. Make sure you get a little tag to place on your square once you're all done with your edging, so you can put this away and know that this is week number 14. It'll be helpful when we put all of our squares together to join them. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I will see you next week when we work on Afghan square, which is week number 15, and then also number 16 will be a classic granny square. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying this crochet along. Until I see you again, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.